Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I know, a couple minutes late. StreamYard did not want to load for me. I don't know why. It's just being a pain in the rear. But that's okay. Hopefully, we're going to manifest. Not hopefully, we are going to manifest that I do not lose the chat and communication like I did on Monday. I do have the YouTube version pulled up on my phone. There is a little bit of a delay, but I've got it muted so I can still see you if I lose you on StreamYard. But hopefully I won't, because we have our beautiful roundtable in here today. Let's bring everybody in. Let's see what these troublemakers are up to today and how much we can fry our little brains.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Oh,
Talk to me.
side by side. How about that?
Angelic. What?
Troublemaker, look at my name. There's no trouble there.
I think I need
Angelic
my
Nadia.
Maybe
I was-
fallen.
I was going to make an angel reference, but I didn't. I thought.
Dennis, I love the books. Are you still studying?
Oh yeah.
I am still studying.
He went to Alexandria. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
No,
No?
I manifested Alexandria to me.
Oh, okay. I
Now that's-
thought you were
So
wrong with
there.
Now that is power.
that. Yeah. All right.
I think I'd much rather go to Alexandria.
Well, you
All
know
right.
where it is.
Yeah.
All right,
Or do
guys.
we?
We left off last week, so maybe we won't get sidetracked, but that's, we'll witch in this one hand. All right.
Sidetracked heavily.
Sidetrack. What? Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? Hello, everyone in the chat.
It's
Thank you
par
for
for the
joining
course.
us. Yes. All right. So I believe we left off when we were getting ready to tackle the fourth trumpet.
It was. I think we stopped at right after the locust.
Because we
I
didn't
think
get
that
to
was
the
the third
bowls.
trumpet, and we were getting ready to go into the fourth.
I don't
Right.
think we started with the locust, though, did we? I think we
Where Apollyon opened up the abyss.
Okay, that's as far as we got, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. And we were also we were trying to figure out what the locust, if it was metaphorically, not the little green bugs that come out, but maybe something greater. Was John seeing a man-made device? What was he seeing? Because the description is crazy.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Very, very bizarre, and your mind could go anywhere.
I didn't
I-
manifest that, by the way.
I kept seeing breastplates of iron. It kind of reminded me of military gear and things like that. What was he seeing? So,
Yeah, that sounds like right. It could be military.
okay.
Armor of God, I went to. But yes, I can see military.
True. I was thinking sound of their wings was like the sound of chariots and many horses running into battle. So is that helicopters, sound of their wings, planes, things like that? That's where my brain goes, but that's a scary place to be.
What I was trying to figure out for there was a tit for tat battle about Marines and Navy at one point. I mean, I'm not trying to restart the pod here.
You don't poke that
But,
bear
no,
already.
no.
Go ahead, Jed.
Wait a second. Hear me out.
Where's Lee? He's got to get in on this now.
Now, hear
Who's
me
in
out.
there?
Hear me out. Okay. I was trying to see
Okay.
the armies of the angels. In other words, did they have divisions in so many respects? I mean, you have the hierarchies, okay, and we're talking about the
True.
breastplates, where these breastplates may be, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, etc. Not to poke the bear. I mean, I don't know where that would land, but what I'm saying is, I think if there is as Dennis knows, the hierarchy, there also must be some form of chain of command, even though closer to throne, we we have technically been given a hierarchy, but yet it doesn't seem to come from God. It comes from visions. It comes from little bits
Right.
and pieces, just like the how are the angels created, if you will. We really don't know.
So are
I
you
am
telling?
assuming that the hierarchy for the angels would be the archangels, since they're the next level up.
Well, I
Seraphim
mean,
would be
you talk about thrones. You talk about what I'm saying is
Right.
if these are closest to God, okay, let's not necessarily look at them as generals or anything like that. But I was trying to use a 3D mind, which was hard for me to understand the hierarchy of heaven, okay, of angels, because most of our angels are. We have a few small ones that we don't even know. I mean, just in the book of Ezra, when Ezra was being shown these things, Uriel was with him, and then 34 other angels.
Yeah.
Okay, there's 34. I mean, there's a multitude of them, but the specifics of the 34.
34.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 34 equals 7. But
Right.
are you saying that we may have a hierarchy of some angels chewing green crayons?
Ooh, wow. I didn't say that.
No, I'm kidding. But you also have angels on land.
Secretly, I was hoping for something.
So no, you actually have like celestial angels that are basically angels on the land. Sometimes you'll say, "Oh wow, that woman's an angel," or "That man's an angel." That's that form. But then after that is
Right, guardian angels all the way up. Yeah,
guardian angels, exactly.
Spirit guides, that
that
kind of
was the
stuff.
unfortunate rabbit hole I went down.
But
I was looking for the hierarchy, plus then I started trying to see how the angels were created, and it was really it felt like when I left the doctor's office today. Okay, there was this funk off on me, and I had to get it off of me. You know what I mean?
Isn't that what we're calling the 3D now? Funk?
Well, it's pretty much what I had. But I actually, while I was asking my angels, I did get kind of a overall message when I was going through a couple things on that. I'll let me know when you want me to throw that out there. But it was pretty cool.
Yeah, just go ahead and throw that up.
No segue, just do it. Okay.
You just
Pitch.
fling it.
Okay. Well, I had asked Dennis in his poop thrower.
Okay.
He's throwing poop again. Watch out. I still never did that video for you, Jen. But anyway,
And it
okay.
begins.
One of the things that we were going through, I'd asked Dennis a couple questions. One was, is English kind of backwards? In other words, the way we speak, the way we write everything. If you look from the ancient texts, they're all right to left. We go left to right. And as you look into the languages of the ancient texts, many of them identify as a word, as a symbol, or as even multiple things just in its one single letter.
Right.
With that said, this is now my mission. I have to understand this. So I'm going to be going down that road for the next couple weeks. But one of the things that I noticed is that during these things, like they were talking about the Sabbath in many cases of the word. And one of the things that really jumped out at me was this, my angels were kind of giving me this thing was, okay, on the Sabbath, you're not supposed to bring any burdens through your gate or take them through your gate. In other words, like if you didn't get water for the day, tough shit. Okay. You're not allowed to cook for the day. Tough shit. If you didn't do it on the 6th, you're fasting.
Mhm.
But it was interesting that the everyday thing was considered a burden. The 3D, even right there in the Bible, it says it. Do not bring these burdens in or out through your gate. That was enlightening to me. That was like, I've always been saying that. And they were, okay, they were kind of, this is what I got. Okay, it's not really lengthy. Give away to God earth. Okay, giving away to God these earthly things. Knowledge is like a child telling you, over and over a new fact, like, oh hey, mom, mom, this is a blue jay. Mom, this is a blue jay. Mom, this is a blue jay. You know what I mean? Wisdom is willingly not repeating, but understanding that it serves no purpose. In other words, it was kind of talking about the 3D. We all want to know the bullshit of the world. You know what I mean? Like we all get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they kind of stress that to me. Hey guys, they kind of stressed that to me, and it was also one of these things where even like as I was going, like even just bringing up those things, literally how I don't like them, it still is a burden to you, which we don't really understand. We don't take it. But just if you take the Sabbath day, how they say in there, no burdens that day. That's God's day. But yet he's telling you exactly what the burdens are. Everyday life. Everyday life was as plain as you can say it. And they were kind of pushing this on me. I feel better. I got it out, but that's it. But anyway, that was in, if I can, that was in Jubilees 229, the second chapter, 29. I just thought I'd bring it up with that. But again, even though the deeper I go into the angelic in these books, 3D is just such a distraction. It really is.
Well, I also want to touch on the fact that the Jubilees, we understand, is not canonized, but I have read it too. That would be considered old school Old Testament. But we also understand in the New Testament that Yeshua came and was asked the question, well, what if one of my animals gets stuck in the mud that day, on the Sabbath? Do I just leave it? That's a burden. I don't go out and do it. And he says, why would you do that? Or he used that as a parable. Why would you do that? You have to go take care of business.
You have to take care of it. Yes. If necessity is one thing, exactly. But it was the through the gate. Leave it outside the house. That was the main thing. It was just.
Is it a spiritual, psychological thing? Don't let it get you down. Just go do what you got to do, and then come to God.
Give it up for the day. Yeah. It's just one day. Try it. Give it up for the day.
You also have to understand that you don't want to have guilt. I mean, if that burden of either saving that animal or anything is going to give you guilt, you don't want guilt on you either.
Right.
Agreed.
So,
and what if it's the only source? Like, let's say it's your milk cow, and you need it for milk for your children. One burden is going to lead to the next if you just let it go.
Right. Agreed. I agree with your explanation. That there was parables that go along with that. That, in other words, these things are okay to do. Right. But it was just that actual 229 of Jubilee just described burdens. Period. It's the worldly thing. That was mainly it. Yeah, you've got to use common sense and go, I ain't going to lose my milk from my goat. I have to. God understands that, and maybe you're meant to do it. But anyway, that was kind of unique. But let's go where we're going.
Okay.
Where are we going?
Take it, Dennis.
I don't know. I remember I had a rough segue,
rabbit hole.
With a rough stop. Yeah.
No, let's get out of the rabbit hole because I might fall in it again.
All right. So we're discussing the locust, and then we, and they're very descriptive of how it was. And then it gets into verse 11. It says, and they had as a king over them an angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon. But in Greek, he has the name Apollyon.
Right.
So one woe is past. Behold, still two more woes are coming after these things. So that's kind of where we're at. But Abaddon and Apollyon are the same entity.
Yes.
All right. And it's of the bottomless pit. So are we discussing that this is a good angel, bad angel?
If I remember right, I think I did comment on this. It just reminds me of the angels of the four winds. To me, they have a specific purpose, and they are technically given a purpose to open up the four winds during one of the breaking of the seals. So are they the four horsemen themselves?
But all take orders from the Creator.
Right, exactly. And that's just it. They have a specific purpose. While we may see it as destructive, it still has a godly purpose, just like
Right. Almost as you could almost look at it.
Well, now, if the pendulum was correct yesterday, the four horsemen have already been here and gone.
Okay, and how long does that effect take to get to us? I remember that question. All I kept thinking is I felt you were right, okay, and it felt true, but how long does it take to affect us?
Isn't that a matter
it's
of
hard to say
opinion?
since there's no really time.
There's no really time. How does that trickle down to 3D Earth, this plane?
Right.
And
because that could be beyond space and time in the eyes of the divine, but
Right.
to us, it could be a lifetime. It could just be a week. We don't know.
Or if
Exactly.
if the Bible or in Genesis is correct, where one day is as 1,000 years, to God, then
True.
you know,
And is
could
it
be
one
1,000 years.
horseman was it one horseman at a time? Did they all four show up at the exact same time? I mean,
well, there's no real I mean, there's quote time frames, but yet if we look at the seals, one, we actually don't know if they're in chronological order, even though they go first seal, second seal, third seal. I agree. But at the same time, we don't have a definition. There seems to be an implied understanding of something. So, and not only that, how long do these seals last?
Well,
what is the effect?
Would you think that these seals have to be demonstrated during a lifetime just so it could be noted, instead of one horseman 100 years ago, and then the second? How would one know that we passed one of the horsemen's already?
True, but we've also been in a discussion that almost every generation could look at something that happened during their lifetime that could check
if
all
history repeats itself. Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, how would I know if that was the fourth one, or is that the fourth one acting as the first one?
Right.
And it would also depend upon the timeline.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think we even discussed last time the four seals, they seem as though they are one woe. They don't necessarily, they're not really looked at as four woes. The last three seals are woes themselves, 5, 6, and 7. They are described as a woe. If we don't remember, one woe in the Bible is bad. 2 woes is really bad. 3 woes is hell on earth.
Whoa!
Oh man, I was just gonna say.
I didn't bring up crayons. Okay.
Whoa,
just saying, someone was mentioning crayons earlier.
Yeah. All right. Well, now we do know sometimes in the Bible they are very specific about timing, because the ones that sting, it says 5 months.
Yes. Right. And that was, we said, the life of a locust.
5 months to us?
Since it is curiously the exact kind of life of the locusts when they are here,
yes,
I would say yes. I think that's giving us acknowledgement of, just like any other locust, these things are just bigger, nastier, and more vicious, but yet they're not going to kill you. That's just it. It's the torture of not being killed.
Have we actually determined that these locusts are actual biological and not?
I don't think we've pulled cards on that. We
military.
Can do that.
That would be interesting.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
I would for certain like to know that.
One of the other things
well, if you want.
Quick sidebar on going down this road. Sidebar, it's very quick. Lucifer.
No, I'm thinking.
This is quick.
Okay.
Lucifer in Hebrew is, for lack of a better spelling, Helel. Little asterisks and squigglies along the vowels.
Hillel.
Right. Yeah. It's actually pronounced.
He was the brother of Joel.
Hallel.
Yeah.
Right. Hallel. Now, there are so many pronunciations around that. Hela, hala, halam, halim, halam. So, yes, you are stunning. I know. I caught you.
No, that's not it.
But what I'm saying is just the change of a letter. In other words, the text. One slip of a text or a squiggle. It totally changes the context. So that's one of the things I tried not to deep dive, but I made a note to do it.
I mean, the playing with the words actually in Islam, halal means blessed.
Yes.
It's blessed.
Yes, it's almost exact. It's actually in many cases it's the same pronunciation with the Hebrew,
Yes.
and then there's look at Allah, and then you have Hela. So if you miss the and then if you technically look at Lucifer being the light bearer, okay, the word hallelujah means Lucifer of God, or we think it looks as praise God, but is Lucifer taking it because Hala can be Lucifer or morning star? But God are we saying Lucifer, that in a mockery? Again, twist of words, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but wasn't Lucifer the light of God in the beginning? Wasn't he the?
Yes, he was
the light bearer. Yes.
The light bearer and one of the most beautiful.
He was the pretty one.
Yeah, he was the. Look how precious.
In which way?
Yeah, this is like tough to me.
Nadia, is that what the way that meat is prepared? It's like a kosher thing.
It's a kosher thing. It's blessed. So like fish is halal. The way you slaughter the meat in a Islamic way is halal. So it's like a blessing, just like kosher.
It's no different than a Mashiach that oversees how the Jewish meat is prepared.
Yeah,
correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
All right.
But you could also call a good person the son of blessed. So you could use that as a person, halal.
Okay. But I mean,
so I'm asking if these locusts are of a biological. Wow. Okay.
Nature.
Yeah, of nature. No, it is not. No, these are spiritual. This is a higher realm. These are spiritual. These are spiritual. Humans have nothing to do with this. But here's what I got. Maybe I'm right and go, well, not that I'm right. Mark it on the calendar if I am. The Chariot card comes in, and that's a military card. So I wonder if it is a military or it's an army force, a spiritual army force. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's not biological little bugs.
Did you want me to write that down on the calendar? I got one right here.
Then it's on leap year.
Yeah.
Oh, leap year?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I can't do that. Never mind.
Okay. So then I asked, so this is a something spiritually would happen to people is what I asked. Next. Well, this is fascinating. The first two cards are two aces. Wow. Okay. So remember, swords are about words, truth, things you hear. Cups are about emotions and how it makes you feel. And then the King of Swords is to bring balance and justice forward, but always seeking truth. And when it comes to, because I got three swords in a row, when you hear this, or pay attention to what you're listening to, because the hoodwink card is in here. That is to keep you bound, blind, and deaf and dumb to what it really, really means. All right. So not biological, not a physical thing, but spiritual army. And it's an emotional, spiritual upset, so to speak. Well, we could say that we're going through that now. You've got people that are really stuck in the 3D and there's truth coming out. And these are all swords. People are still being tricked and conned into believing certain things, but we know there's a spiritual war and battle going on. And maybe we're not being stung and if this is something current, we're not affected by it because we're ascending. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do these spiritual beings, for
Mm-hmm.
lack of a better word, come from a different dimension?
Okay.
Is the abyss, the opening of the abyss, a gateway from one dimension to another?
They said I only needed 2 cards. Different world, different spiritual level. So absolutely coming from a different world. Yep, totally.
I have a question.
Yes.
Could, let's say higher dimension, higher selves affect this spiritual battle? So it's like downloading either a good or a bad just to get people to wake up. So you could have a higher self, you're playing the role as not, giving false info, but you also have good, higher selves giving good info.
Intuition, that's high priestess. Beyond the veil, going through those spiritual experiences, something's getting your from the spiritual realms trying to get your attention. Absolutely. Now remember, this next card is swords, so this is about hidden truths and secrets and gifts. So if you are on your ascension path and you've woken up, you're on a different level. So now I'm asking, well, that's good. Well, that explains our everyday life. Okay. So we're completing our soul contract. We agreed to do this, to come here and for the enlightenment, but we still have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. We are still in the 3D, but not of the 3D. We are more focused on the spiritual journey of this.
So we're basically in the 4D.
Yeah. And unfortunately, when we get mixed into 3-dimensional conversations, it causes this, and that's inner turmoil, because wands are about passion and desire. I don't want to talk about 3D. My desire and passion is to be spiritual and go within, but it causes conflict with the people we interact with every day that are still 3D, and it's hard.
Yes, Jay.
And unfortunately, it does cause division amongst people, and you start finding yourself separated. You can still love them, you just start to love them from a distance, if that makes sense.
This place that they're from, it feels closed. It's like it is another dimension. It's closed. It's one door. This is the door in. It's not a whole nother world like we have. Like where these things come from. This is like just looking like, okay, you have these old things, you hang these old things up. How often have you been in that closet? It just feels purposefully set aside.
But is this going on in a different dimension right now?
Just that little part that what they're giving me. Like I said, it feels very closed. In other words, this is, hey, let me out to play, let me out to play, let me out to play. They've been waiting. That like there's nothing else, if that makes sense. That's what it feels like.
That's their purpose.
Yeah.
Are we talking about 3D? Or are we talking about higher selves?
I'm talking about the dimension where these creatures come from.
Locust things.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I just think they probably use a symbol of the lotus because they're strategic the way they move.
Interesting.
No.
It's going to affect in certain strategies, certain places to wake people up who are not awoken yet or are not awakened.
Well, it is. Okay, so I pulled and I said, well, is this something that we need to be concerned? This is looking out into the future and the fear of the unknown. What is this? What is going to happen? Because it could go either way. Prepare for the thieves of truth, though. Remember, these are swords. It's a thief card. People are still going to convince you that these creatures are like a biological thing.
Right. Because they like to take things literally.
the virus really what do you call it? Adapted.
Well, mutated, you mean?
Yeah. I was
Well,
just being cute because everything was COVID for a while. Maybe this is going to be the COVID bugs.
But here's the thing. I believe that if you're in a 3D realm, that is real. If you go up to a 4D, 5D, that doesn't even feel real. It feels you're so far removed from any of that fear or anything. So is this the next level of moving yourself higher from
Well,
the
you're making a great point. If you are all about love and that frequency and that energy, if you stay there, because I pulled the Lover's card, that's passion and desire and pure love. That's what that is.
Mhm.
You come into new truth. So baby page of swords is new truth. You're learning new things. And when you do that, you keep in that frequency. This is wishes, making wishes in a positive, those things are being granted to you. So emotionally, you are filling up your cups.
Yes.
You've got to stay in that frequency.
So now you're in the unconditional love. I mean, the next jump is compassion, but then enlightenment.
Enlightenment.
That's
your ascension.
That's your ascension, enlightenment. But once you reach that stage, all of this revelation, I don't think has existence of it.
I don't think, not for us, it doesn't.
Not for us. No, well, not for the ones ascending. Let's just
scorpion things. Are we going to be going? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Look at you with that stinger. I see you.
Well, it doesn't have to be. It could be Scorpios. Be Scorpios.
Good boy.
Yes, boy. Where do you pet it? That's all I want to know.
I mean, a lot of the November people really tell the truth and cause a little commotion there. Yeah. Or rising signs.
I can't see.
I think we ought to speak as Jedi Knights. You will go away. You do not see him go beyond.
Well, I think when it comes to the concept of the fear mongering over the book of Revelation, we need that great advice from Spirit. Walk away. This does not emotionally serve you any purpose whatsoever.
Right.
Because it's all tricks and confusion.
Exactly.
Which can lower your frequency in itself.
So I'm going to throw my notebook and let's talk about angels.
Are we going on the angel route? Are we going the trumpets, the bowls, spirit led? How's this happening?
Well,
have we even finished the trumpet yet before we go into the bowls?
No, we've got 2 more trumpets. Yeah. I think after today's show, we'll have to make a decision. Do we take a break from Revelation and see where the angel route goes?
Well, let us ask the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yes, what would they rather have us do? Continue on or take a break and move into something else?
Yeah. What do you
like? Like maybe Jay can be like entertaining on his table or something.
You can do his throw your poo video. All right.
Dennis, let's just say the 2 trumpeters were union and they didn't show up. How's that?
Okay, they're on strike.
Where's the other 5 before us? What'd they do? We just got. I don't know. Why is it up to us?
That's good. Yeah. So if you guys want to answer that in the chat, do you want the continuation of Revelation after today, or do you want to go down the origin of angels and that kind of thing? And anybody that watches it on the replay, leave a comment. We'll just or I could put a poll up. Yeah. I could do that on a community page.
After the show. Yeah. It really helped get the videos seen if you would be so kind to do that.
Yeah.
So, like they know out of the live, so many watched. If you get a percentage of over 50% of those watching comments, it's going to be put up higher in a feed. That's how that works.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those, if you don't vote, you don't comment, don't complain with what we do, because, we're going to go spirit led, but we appreciate your all's opinion as well.
Okay.
So, I'm not getting up on any table. I'm just saying.
Come on. You just sit there and make coffee.
Exactly right.
And if Rocco tries to come in your library and dance on tables, you say, "Shh, this is a library."
Mm-hmm.
Your lab will come in and see the librarian with her glasses on her nose going, "Excuse me."
Mhm.
All right. Well, since we're still going to do it today, let's jump into the next trumpet.
Trumpet number 6.
So that is the Angels from the Euphrates.
Ooh.
This is number 6
No,
of
we're
the
there.
trumpets. So this is after our locust thing. So a voice from the 4 horns of the golden altar, which is before God. Okay, well, that right there will make you scratch your head. 4 horns. So what are the horns representing? Is it the 4 angels that hold back the winds? Could that be it? Is that the same thing?
The preview of it.
I'm
Or
thinking- well, the 4 horns, could they be the ram horns that they used?
The shofars?
Yeah, the
4
shofar.
horns of the golden altar.
oh, you're going back older than that. Wow. Okay, so the golden altar.
You're talking about Adam there, Jay. Of course
Yeah.
he's going back further.
But
Okay.
you know that the same thing. One of the things that Elijah was upset about is that the altars were destroyed. Maybe there's a reason why he brought that up. Possibility.
Well, a voice from the 4 horns. I wonder if it's his top 4 angels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel. 'Cause they're the 4.
The 4 branches of service: Army,
Oh,
Navy.
Go do the commercial, Jay. Go ahead.
All right.
Well,
Yeah,
here's
there's actually like maybe 4.5 with Space Force.
We're just totally going to leave out Coast Guard, right? They don't qualify.
okay. Okay, but if you're going to say the 4 horns coming from Euphrates, we did it a while back about the river drying.
Right, and wasn't there
They're
technically
hearing
4 angels?
sounds. Yeah, they're hearing sounds coming under. Maybe the demons being unleashed.
Yeah, 4 demons.
Yeah, here we go. I got it.
I wonder if that's
Right.
the representation.
Well, so that would be the voice. Okay.
Could it be for the fallen angels?
Okay.
Yes.
So Azazel.
Yeah, he was actually called the goat, which would probably have a horn.
Okay. All right. So they heard voices from 4 horns of the golden altar, which is before God. Well, obviously, our Creator sees it all, negative and positive. He's in control of it all.
Yeah.
Right.
So, saying to the 6th angel who had a trumpet, release the 4 angels who are bound at the great river Euphrates.
Kind of like the North Pole and the South Pole. Yeah.
Let's
Opposites.
look at it as a
I know.
parable.
So the 4 angels who had been prepared for the hour and day and month and year were released to kill 1/3 of mankind. Well, that's blunt and to the point.
Well, and not only that, let's look at
Everything
it as
is a third. Why is that?
Yeah. Well, we were told it was 1/3 of the angels that fell as well. So it started way
Right.
back when.
A
Okay,
third
I
has
have to
something to
add
do with
something.
everything.
I have to add something to
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Add.
that.
Then also
you know that we already understand that this book has been embellished.
right.
Isn't the 33-degree Mason a third?
Technically,
Yeah.
yes.
That's
So
what I'm
yes.
thinking.
Let's see if the let's say the 4 horns. Could the 4 horns in a parable represent 4 lands, not necessarily readily available to our eyes, but in some understanding, is
Well,
there
we also
4
we've
directions.
right 4
yeah.
corners?
Well, I've looked
Or
into
4 directions.
what is it? What are they? How do they describe it? The beast with 10 horns. I always took that as the 10 top countries that made up the UN nations. Horns were considered nations.
Right, and that could be technically be the BRICS nations coming forward. Also,
Okay.
there's 7, but there looks to be
There's
10,
7.
maybe the root.
How Were the European Union, was that 10 countries?
I believe it was in the beginning.
Yeah, I think it ended up being 13.
Was that also a part of the Roman Empire?
Well, I mean, I know a while back there was a news that if a nuclear bomb attacked, I think I mentioned this to you, Jen, if a nuclear bomb were to attack right now, which that's what they're instilling in the fear,
Right.
7 billion people will be gone. Would that mean a third of the elite would have survived, and plus some maybe 3D worker bees?
Well, I think, as far as I understand, the major part of the high elites of the negative have been removed. Now we're working on going down the lower
Yeah,
food chain.
but
They
that's
just
what I
didn't get the memo that their boss has been taken out.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Look
And,
out the head.
the book Revelation was written way before they found out the elites were taken down. So,
Mhm.
could
Well,
that-
if their goal is fear mongering and scare us to death, making like it was going to be us. We've already read the Georgia Guidestones.
yeah,
That was their
Right.
goal.
yeah.
But if it actually is reversed, is it them that gets taken out?
1/3, 13 families.
Mm,
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was. Yeah, I was thinking of the very top.
Right.
What was on the very top of the pyramid? Was
The
it the
point.
13 families?
Yeah,
on the pyramid, yeah.
I'll be back. I'm getting bombarded. I gotta separate the.
The
Yes.
Okay.
a third of J is going. A third of J is going.
Well, even
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
look at the obelisks, which are like the Washington Monument, those capstones, they're actually engraved with that. So there are multiples all over the world because they look at that as their monument.
Because I have a hard time finding out that if the rivers Euphrates dry up and the horns are the four winds, but we already know that there is Egypt and England and other countries, why is it so centralized in that one region? You would think people will hear it from afar.
Yeah. Well, we would have to figure out exactly what are the 4 points. Well, of course, north, south, east, and west, but you can't
Right.
tell me that that's all set aside for just eastern side. You can't tell me North America is not going to hear any of that, or South America.
Mhm.
Everything is so centrally located in this book based in the Middle East, and I'm not buying it.
Yeah, but they're assuming that that's the only group of people that exist, and we know it didn't. We know India and China, Tibet, that all existed back then. So
Yes.
those horns have to be pretty
And they
strong.
were also working and still related to Native Americans and like the Incas and Mayans. It was all going on at one time all over the world. So it can't be centralized there.
That's where I had my problems. Just going,
Yeah.
who's going to hear it if it's only in the Euphrates area? So, Jen, I'm sorry if I interrupted. You're pulling on
No, you're fine.
You're pulling on the 33%, right?
Yeah, I'm going to pull on the third because I want to know if they're talking about good guys or bad guys. That's what I want to know.
Okay, cool.
Quick thought. I know. Maybe I get inspiration. Could the 4 heads represent a cornerstone? 4 points, foundation stone, talked about in the Bible, in the Apocrypha. Possibility.
So what is that one? 4 states and one doesn't it?
No, Nevada.
Yeah, it's Colorado,
corners.
Utah, I think,
Arizona.
Arizona, and New Mexico.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
I
4
wonder
corners.
if is there any river going through there? I wonder if that's the mirror image of the Euphrates.
I don't know.
It could be the Colorado River, which goes into
technically-
the Grand Canyon.
Technically, when you get into the trumpets, aren't we talking about rocking the foundations of the world? That's what I'm saying. Cornerstone. I don't know.
Yeah, but we already discussed that the Americas are a mirror image of the other side.
Yeah.
So could the four corners here be exactly the Euphrates area?
Okay.
So we'll
We'll do that in a second. This is what I asked. I said, is the third of mankind, when they're talking about that, is that humanity? Because I don't like the word mankind, humanity, or is it the nasty bloodline? Now, this is, and then they gave me a download. For all of the world to see, these people. Now, this is going to be negatively aspected because I'm going to show you the card that's in the middle. This, I got the download, is like the Illuminati, is what they call the enlightened, what they think they're the enlightened ones. Does that make sense? They think they're on a higher level than we are. So this card represents that. There is inner turmoil there. They are fighting amongst themselves, which is also scriptural. If you believe that, it says they will devour themselves. They turn on each other towards the end days. So they are trying to fool the little baby drip drops, which is us, because we don't know. That's what they're doing. They're fooling us. It actually has to do with them. So the third being taken out, I just hope they take them all out. That's not nasty and ugly.
No.
we'll take them out with love.
So I simply added on and I said, well, what does that mean for humanity? Our wishes will be granted and we get our sovereignty back.
Wow. Beautiful.
So all the doom and gloom and worry has nothing to do with us. Final card, Ace of Cups. It doesn't serve you any purpose to get emotionally upset over this because it's not you.
Right.
Okay. All right. They said that's two major arcana cards, and they're the yin and yang of the deck. Don't believe the confusion and chaos and all the crap that they're telling you. You got to look at the brighter side. So the moon and sun in this are the yin and yang. Okay. Don't believe it.
I'm curious to think, Jay, you were right. If the locusts were the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and they already took out the third.
It's possible. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of those the descriptions of those locusts, and that's why I kept going military. Now it could be spiritually guided or off-world or guided.
Yeah.
When they've been cleaning all this stuff up. Those breastplates and stuff, we don't know the new technology that they have because they have to accommodate the stuff that our military is not used to having. So they could be wearing stuff that we're not sure of. But if you put the pieces together, it would make sense that those guys, it is a military force, spiritually, divinely sent.
Yes.
Guided to take out the bad guys so that it doesn't happen and we need to stop being tricked. But that's that part. Nadia, what was the part that you wanted me to pull on?
Four corners in America equal to the same as the Euphrates, the four
so
winds.
Like that mirrored image thing we were talking about, what happens here is what's going on. Okay.
Yeah, so if that's the four winds trumpet, would that equal the four corners?
All right.
I mean, I'm going to say soft yes, but make more to it.
Okay.
Very slow.
There he is.
Hello.
Yes.
He's going back to work.
About
Bye,
time.
All right. Yes, absolutely. Now, most people don't know this because it was strategically written. Because remember, swords are about things you hear, but written word as well. It was strategically done to make you think that, oh, nothing can touch America. Now, this is a positive thing, though, because No worries. Now, they did try to cause anxiety, but you're not supposed to have anxiety because what does it do? It lowers your frequency. But yes, we got this card on one of the last readings. We asked about the mirror image. What happens there is going here. That is the same card. That what happens to one will happen to the other, and it will manifest itself. Okay. But this is, it will manifest itself here. I think it already is. We just don't see a whole lot of it. But it's to serve justice and to bring balance. One side of the world is not going to take a beating and the other one gets out scot-free. It's not going to work that way. Well, these are beautiful cards. So I said, well, what does that mean? Not only for the eastern side, but the west. Everyone's going to be moving out of troubled waters. You are protected. This guy's protecting the one in the boat. But we have to use the right words.
I got an addition.
You'll have a new beginning to start a new endeavor, and you'll have victory over it. Those are wands. So we have to have the desire to do it too. But yes, there is a mirror image going on there. We just do not see it.
You aren't going far enough.
Not going
If
far
there's
enough.
if there's a mirror image between east and west,
North and south.
there's also north and south. So all north, south, east, and west all have four corners.
On a globe?
How is that? Are you talking about north and south pole too?
Just northern, somewhere in the northern hemisphere and somewhere in the southern hemisphere. There are four corners, like there is on the east and the west, mirror images of each other.
Yes, Ace of Pentacles. Well, look at the pentacle and how it looks. It's not a pentagram; it's a pentacle. So but it represents direction and spiritual balance. So yes, it has to happen in all four. You are correct, Dennis.
Of course.
Of course you are. All right.
Was there ever any doubt?
Not a doubt in the world.
Yes, there was. Yes, there was.
All right. So the collective should not worry. We should be celebrating. There is a great leader behind the works. It doesn't have to be Mr. T. Think above his authority.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't always put the emperor with Mr. T. This could be someone way up. It could be off-worlder, but divinely sent. Someone's pulling the strings here. But it's to make sure humanity doesn't suffer. Well, the base card on that's the Ten of Wands. This is wrapping up the burden. It's coming to an end. Well, we keep getting told that. So.
Well, then it must be the emergency system, sound system, broadcasting system. I bet you if that's the
alert system.
The alert system. I don't know how people say it now.
It's called in different things in different areas.
Yeah.
Well, okay. You know how we had to be at a certain vibration to get where we are right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. If we can carry the world at a certain vibration, will we even witness any of this?
No. We'll be in a different timeline, Jay.
Is it timeline or just density?
Is the ascension going back to the ascension is also the rapture, is it not?
But I would say the timeline, because we ascend as an individual, but also as a collective. So if we raise our frequency high enough, I believe hopefully the whole world will.
One can only hope, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think
I'm not quite sure that we're going to hope.
Not
maybe
we.
One third will be left behind, since it likes 1/3.
So those are probably the end.
I just don't want another Groundhog Day in a lifetime. You know, keep going back and correcting mistakes.
No, we don't want Groundhog again.
Roro.
Restro. Where's that Scooby Doo? Are you doing
Scooby Doo?
Oh, I was doing Restro.
Same, pretty cousins. Hey, are they the same dog?
Ooh.
Ooh, let's pull
Like,
cards
like
on it.
Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson, are they the same person?
No.
Latoya, Michael.
Wow. Okay.
Quiet now. She's
Wow.
deep in thought.
Well, I did a split timeline. I wanted to know, and I said, so is the rapture the same thing as ascension? Is that basically what they're talking about? And I got an Ace of Wands. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah.
So then I continued asking, well, what happens to the people that do not ascend? And then, so I got cards on that. And then I pulled, well, what happens to the people that ascend? So there's two different timelines. I'll do the ones that are left behind first. Tower card.
Yep.
It's this just destruction and chaos. It'll all totally collapse. This is about complete and utter loss. But they don't realize if they would have just done the work behind them, they're so focused on all the negative, they won't be able to raise their frequency right away. So they, in order to do it, they're going to have to strategically start listening to the right truth. Someone will be left behind to try to boost them up and get them where they need to be. Now, this
Either
is
that or books, videos,
true.
whatever.
If they're released, they'll have to take the time to start studying the new truth.
Right.
All right, so here's our timeline. Now, this card is my Christ consciousness card. That is the King of Wands. He is the Christ consciousness. Now, this is the determination for us. Emotional fulfillment, that's the Ace of Cups. So we're out of here because we're going to a different density. That's celebration, Ten of Pentacles, a gift to a new universe, which is beautiful. And it restores our sovereignty and independence. So we have one timeline, they have another. It is but it'll happen the exact same time. We'll go somewhere, but they're going to be going through their chaos at the exact same.
Does the Earth split into two, or is it more like the ones that are left behind are going to a different planet, like some believe, and we stay here, or we go to a different planet?
Back and forth.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, no, not back and forth. It's just two different places.
It splits.
It split. So
Now, when
Yeah,
you
it splits. Okay.
So, Jen, when it splits and you have that Two of Pentacles, can you also come back and go back and come back?
Why would you want to do that?
During that time, yeah, that would be bad.
That would
no,
be bad.
boundaries will be set.
Okay.
Boundaries will be set.
I'm just thinking because
I've always got to set boundaries.
there you go.
Always.
Okay, so I wanted to know spiritually, because, you know, if you're concerned about someone left behind, what can we do? Can we come back and help coach, guide, direct, if it's meant for us to do it? And they said, stop worrying about it.
Yeah.
They will have a new spiritual guiding system. This is well aspected. They will create their own collective within time. It's okay. We just have to give them time. They just weren't ready this time around, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, because you said some will stay here to teach, and it's like, okay, if you've
Then I think they'll be divinely protected.
Yeah.
To help guide. They will create, so you can almost, I don't want to say new church, because that's a bad way of looking at it, but a new spiritual system or I don't know, belief where they create these communities. What we want to do humanitarian while we're here, they'll have that. They'll have to slowly do it on their own. Whatever we start creating, we can leave behind for them, and they just continue to grow spiritually with it. But the new books, because if you look at that one card of the Hierophant, normally when he's negatively aspected, that's a deep state Vatican card. But if it's about getting, like you were talking about, Dennis, getting all that information that was stolen from the new books coming out, that's what it's going to take. They're going to have to study together, go and listen to people. You see two people standing here and someone's lecturing kind of thing. Mm-hmm. They're going to have to come together and learn new things.
This is why I write.
Well, that's cool. We should all, but I just feel that how we were enlightened or we woke up, and I could tell most of us followed the same truthers to get to where we are now. And I believe
Yeah.
those people who will wake up later will also follow and have their collective.
Well, I've also noticed that we may still follow drippy drop ones here and there, just we use our own discernment. I know
Yes.
that we started out with a big long list and now we keep dwindling it down.
Yes.
And we're getting, because it's all about us and going within now. Now
Mhm.
we've created our own community and people are, so they could, once we leave here, they could just go back and watch our videos.
And I think a lot more people that are doing that are really going within. They're following inside. They're following. They realize the Savior's in the mirror because you're one with God. You know, I mean, it's just what it feels like. I mean, you can. I still follow some people, and I participate, but there's no heart in it. It really isn't. It's like it's nice to see the people.
Yes.
It
Really
is.
not necessarily about the content, but sometimes it is. But it is. It really does feel like when you see those people, if they're not stuck on a particular
Right.
focal point, like it's just off-worlders, it's just Jesus. If it's just,
Yeah.
they're not stuck. If they're actually the ones that seem they're the ones that go inside.
Mhm.
They're not there with the pom poms.
We're just a great big mosh pit of everything.
The pom poms were destroyed by the
Well,
locusts, by the way.
I guess I'm just trying to say they're not necessarily following. They're not
Right.
necessarily followers. They're following
Yeah.
whatever they're given.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, the inside.
Yeah.
I mean,
think
there,
as long as we keep that as number one, we all have
Yeah.
to do it. Whether we get into off-worlders
Yeah.
and finance and 3D or not, this comes first. We have to do this.
there are so many times where I'll say, wow, I haven't seen this person in a while. Let me go back and check. And then it's like, nope, it's not resonating. I
Yeah,
just don't feel right. I
Yeah,
thought it
there
was
are
like,
two-
All that slide right or slide left.
yeah,
Two
no, but I
things that we all,
thought-
two things,
yeah,
two
I thought
things
it
we
was,
all need to do
it was
Mhm.
is discernment and listen to your intuition.
Yeah. And
Always,
sometimes
in everything.
I mean, there's some that resonate on certain days, but another day, I mean, people do that with me all the time. Sometimes my energy's off. And
Yeah.
it's like, Jen's just not with it today, and they'll turn it off. I can't get through it. That's totally fine. Everyone's energy changes all the time. But I did ask Spirit the last two cards, and I said, can you tell me what's going to happen for those left behind? Will they be able to reverse their situation? And it was. This is Wheel of Fortune. They will be able to reverse their circumstances and get away from the confusion that they've had. Their learning processes, it'll be like ours. It's just going to take a little longer.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I mean, I've had like 3 hours sleep, so my eyes are this big. But okay,
you didn't sleep in a taco bed, so
no, I did not.
Alex said
you-
my taco bed was an inflatable air mattress that decided to deflate. Well,
I was in a bed. I just could not fall asleep. But it was okay. All right, I'm hard pass. I'm sorry.
all right.
Not the right time.
Are we done with trumpet number 6, or are we still going with 6?
Well, okay. Even trumpets, like we're seeing the trumpet right now that she described it.
Mhm.
Isn't that aren't we kind of in that same ballpark? While there's chaos and everything else, we're kind of going the exact opposite way of the Enlightenment. I mean, we're covering both sides of it, and that's just it. I think the trumpets themselves, where these woes are bad, 2 woes are really bad. Well, 2 woes may be like really enlightening for us or moving us higher. I think it can be looked at both ways, and like we said, it's not doom and gloom. It's not doom and
Well, I
gloom.
know the
Right.
beautiful Christ consciousness and the spirituality that I've seen in the community, no matter how big or small it is, what I've seen, those are good woes. I've looked at us and went, whoa, wow, look at the stuff happening to us.
Yes.
So you can flip it and go, wow, like I never thought that's not written in here.
Right.
I mean, I don't think anybody ever told us that we would go through these spiritual things that I can't explain it,
Right. And
but those are good woes.
Very good.
Whoa, dude.
Good.
Dude.
Dude.
Dude, where's our car, dude?
That's my wife's pet name.
Whoa.
Dude.
Whoa.
Dude.
So when we read this is just to get people to think and also kind of gauge your own spirituality of where you think you're at. What do you need to work on? What is this? Are you still about doom and gloom? When you read this, you should not get scared and have fear.
Yep.
At all.
In many cases of the word, I don't think it necessarily doesn't pertain to all. And like you were saying, it doesn't pertain to all. Get your popcorn, if that's what you like. But at the same time, I think it is just one of those things of knowing that I don't like the whole idea of how people were selling their raptures. We're going on the rapture. I'm going to be raptured. You don't know that. You don't know if you're going to ascend, all that stuff.
Yeah, but if the ascension and rapture are the same things, you could just say, no, I'm out of here just because I believe in Jesus.
Right, exactly.
If you're not doing spiritual work, you're fooling yourself as well.
Exactly. We will not know. Okay. Yeah. God's given us all our own form of gifts, even the people in the chat. We all have intuition. We all have something. That's why we're here. I hope everyone surpasses everyone on this table here, this round table. That's just it. That's the whole idea. It's not about I'm going. It's about everyone's going to come. I mean, it's understanding that you may we're on a video. That's it. Doesn't mean any different than anyone else in the chat. That's just it. Anyone can go. I hope. I don't look at myself as like gifted. I do, but at the same time, don't compare yourself to me. You're probably more special than anybody else. Yeah. You probably have things more special than I could ever.
Yeah. We are all unique beings with unique paths and unique gifts.
But we all have to understand that there is not going to be anybody riding on somebody else's coattail.
Right.
If you don't do your work, if you don't release, forgive, ascend within, there's no way of.
Well, there used to be an old joke because I was raised Christian. Well, it starts out with Christians should be ashamed of themselves to tell the rest of the world in their faith that if you don't believe what I believe, you're going to hell.
Then they're done.
That's totally wrong. But we had an old joke in the Christian community. It was like someone not doing their work and they get to St. Peter's Gate and they knock and they go, well, you're not on my list. And they go, yeah, but my grandma's in there. She said I could come. It's just an old joke. There's no riding coattails. You were exactly right. We shouldn't tell anybody that they're going or not going because that's none of our business.
Well, no, we don't know. I don't care if my guides told me you're going. I am not believing until the day it happens, if it happens. Right. That's just it. Just like the day and the hour, no one will know.
Yeah.
I pray that we all go. I do. I pray for everyone to go and bear themselves some of these burdens. But we know it's not so. But, just because, and as Jen said, some of us may be left here to teach. That's a real possibility.
Yeah. Well, to piggyback on what you said, and I've said this before, we may not know the day or the hour, but we do know the season, and I believe the season is upon us. We're just doing our work now. If my guides sit there and say, "Oh, don't worry about it. Yeah, you're going anyway," I'm like, I'm still working. I'm still here, and until I'm gone, I'm going to put the work in and continue going within. And raising my consciousness and love people through their journey as well. That some ahead of me, some with me, some after me. It's not our job to judge.
Right. I mean, when I'm reaching to bring someone up, I'm reaching for someone to bring me up as well. So
exactly.
Look at it as a chain.
Exactly.
I'm here to walk. I'm here to walk with you. Someone's saying that very same thing to me, picking me up. Yeah, but that's like this. This is really a journey, and no matter what we get into, no matter what subject, we always come back to this positive aspect of, yeah, if you read it literally, it's doom and gloom. If you understand it, it's not. And
we shouldn't get disheartened if you switch place on that level of chain system of holding each other's hand, because if I go through something that really brings me down, but I was up here, we're going to switch places because you guys are going to help pull me back out of it. And we constantly rotate ourselves.
Exactly.
That's what we're supposed to do. We don't quit and just drop you and say, oops, sorry.
Bucket of monkeys, they have the little
monkey barrels.
Yeah.
poop cans. But yeah, I mean, that's
okay.
And not one of them is flinging anything.
Monkey barrels, monkey poop. There's a theme here, Jay.
It did work.
But also, some people may be watching on the live chat or not even on the live chat and are down. And this is why we're grateful for the live chat. They always bring other people up, or we're praying for you. And this is how we work as a collective. Not only are we doing our own work, but we'll help lift other people up by kind words or help
Speaking of which, could I give you 30 seconds of what happened to me today? I stopped to pick up something.
Let me get my watch started.
I stopped. No, I have to. I stopped real quickly to get. They sell pizza by the slice. I got 2 pieces of pizza to come home
with pineapple.
I heard this guy's voice. I said, "Excuse me, older gentleman, white hair," and I said, "Like 80 plus, well into his 80s. Dennis, you look good for gray hair." But anyway, I said, "I know your voice," and he says, "Oh, I'm so and so," and I says, "Oh my God, he was a local pizza earner when we were kids."
Wow.
And I said, "Oh, I'm Joe Rocco's son, Joe." He goes, he gives me a big hug. He said, you know my wife, Dolores?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "She passed 9 months ago."
Aww.
Honest to goodness, I started tearing up.
Aww.
But that's just it. That was actually such a beautiful thing. I felt for him, but what a blessing at the same time to run into him.
Exactly.
And that's just it. That's no different than helping someone up. It was that brief
and that's
moment.
Divine purpose. There was a reason that you met him today on this moment,
right? So
you can have that moment and share that.
And like he was tearing up, and I was tearing up, and I was like, "It was great to see you," And because the funny thing is he's coming in to get a pizza, and he was a really good pizza place owner.
Wow.
It's just one of those things where it was like, he's still going about his day. He misses his wife, but he says, "I'll be with her soon."
Well, that's a good mindset to have. It's a good place to be. That's beautiful.
That was pretty cool. Excuse me, I have potty time. You ready?
That's fine. Sister Renee just messaged me out. I just thought it was funny. I wanted to share with you. She says, "Lots of things you're saying reminds me of a rock and roll song, like Winds of Change by the Scorpions." "It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine," and many more. Roll the rock music. Yep. We're all going to start jamming. Everything reminds you of a song at this point. But no, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. But our mindset has to be stay focused and, keep working within and help each other out through love and forgiveness and lift each other up. Okay. Now, I know Rocco popped out. I'm not going to stay real long today because I have a busy day. It takes a lot to recuperate from a 5-year-old's birthday party. I'm just saying. And we had some company that came in to visit and left, and she's very depressed now. And it broke Israel's heart, and she's having a rough day since then. So I'm going to spend time with her as well. But we'll, I will put a poll up on my community page to see where it's so far. Everyone's like, whatever you want to do, it's always spirit led. But I'll go ahead and put a poll up, continue Revelation or start Origins of Angels or something like. It's not that we can't come back to it if we take a break.
Right.
Because everywhere we go, everything twists and turns and always comes back together. So it's just it's a beautiful thing. But do you guys want to add anything before we wrap up? And
The only thing I want to make sure is everybody needs to ensure that no matter what you say, what you read, what you hear, always use discernment. Always listen to your inner self, your intuition, and it will get you through it.
Absolutely.
Because there's a lot of things out there right now that can be deceiving. The Bible being one of them, even the lost books of the Bible, you got to use discernment. If Yeshua was raised with the Essenes, with John the Baptist, and yet he still had time and wanted to travel and learn from other masters, and that tells me that even the Essenes were not completely correct. So use discernment, use your inner voice.
Well, also, if I could piggyback off of you, Dennis, your discernment. Yeah, I'm a little heavy though. Your discernment.
It's all right. You're not my brother.
Your discernment is use your gut instinct, not your logical instinct, because that's what God is doing. Yeah, your heart.
That's your intuition.
Will tell you more, because if you use your head, that's what got us in the problems in the first place.
I'm telling you, we have to do the lyrics. We have to do a lyrics show.
Okay, we're ready to leave.
So Billy Joel, we didn't start the fire.
We didn't start the fire. No, we did not. No, we didn't.
I just want to know how I'm going to work in one-eyed, one-armed, flying purple
people eater.
Yeah,
that was going to be a tough one. I'll try and work it in.
That's a
Ask
trumpet.
Ahab the Arab.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go. And the Euphrates.
Don't forget Henry VIII.
Oh well,
I am.
Well, as long as you're talking to
I am.
Mrs. Robinson or Mrs. Brown, you know.
One of the polls I'm going to put up is, what's the next karaoke song for the collective?
Or for Nadia.
There you go.
I think at some point, I think our songs stick with her and she chooses those songs to sing.
Okay, I actually did sing the song last week, and what was it? It was
it didn't stick.
Not 3 times.
Ah.
Not 3 times.
Yes.
Uriel.
But, yeah, I sang it, so we'll do it. All right. Thank you, everybody.
All right, I said my piece.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
We're gonna. Well, it's been a rough day for Israel.
Oh, wow.
Her birthday was yesterday, and we had a house guest overnight, but she had to leave this morning, and it's made her very sad. So I'm gonna go see her, spend time with her, and pop a few more balloons. But thank you guys. I know it was short and sweet. We didn't get very far, but we still got somewhere. I'll put up on my community page a poll. We'll just kind of keep an eye on it. And before the next day or two, I'll let you know the results, or you'll already know the results. But we shall talk. I'll do oracle cards for everyone that wants to stick around. And
step out and love you.
You guys have a good day.
Thank
you for joining me.
You too.
Thank you.
I love you.
Mother Nature's calling.
Good. I'm going to stay while you did the oracles, Jen, and I'll do the doggy meds.
Alrighty. Alrighty. All right.
And we do go back and look at the chat because half the time we can't see the chat.
I know.
It's hard. And I saw a question in there earlier, and I was like, oh, yeah. I forgot about it, unfortunately.
Okay. We'll go back, and if there's something in there that we really need to write down and maybe answer Friday if anybody wants to.
Screenshot it, or if they remember, either one, we'll try and bring it to the thing.
Absolutely. We will do that. Yeah, because if you did have a question, I want them to bring it Friday. I'll always send you guys the link if you want to join. That's totally fine. All right. So oracles today, Archangel of Abundance is, this is beautiful. God is your source. All right. Everything you need is supplied by the infinite source of God, and your faith opens the doorway to receive. In God, there is no lack or limitation. Rather, there is plenty of abundance for all to share. And of course, we've talked before, that's not necessarily financial. There's plenty of love, there's plenty of faith, all these things that you have that you need or require, there's plenty of. All right. Archangel today. Oh, beautiful. Archangel Faith.
Hmm.
All right. I just pull these. I don't study them. I just pull them and stick them in the book. With faith, you are invincible. Believe in yourself. Archangel Faith is touching you as you read this card. She is reminding you that while blind faith is an illusion, you know the truth in your heart. Trust it. Know the faith that does not waver. It is 100% certain and is rock solid foundation for anything you wish to do or create. Kind of goes along with the other one. All right. Sacred Oracle today, our forest. All right. Elves, playfulness. Well, I think that's what we do when we get together on these roundtables. It's always fun and lightheartedness, and that's what we need. The spirit of the elves say, embrace your innocence, let go of heavy responsibilities. Well, it reminds me of what you were saying earlier, Rocco, about burdens. Give yourself a break. Nurture your spirit by doing something fun. Joy is it's important for sustaining yourself as the food that you eat. Happiness, joy, gratitude, all the beautiful things that raise our vibration. Those are good things. Have a little fun. Don't be so serious all the time. All right. And anything negative in your life, you should always look at the positive. That's what I believe. There's always going to be a positive side of it. Sometimes it's harder to see than others. Give yourself a little mercy and grace. All right. Chakra oracles today are beautiful cards, no lectures. This is beautiful. So we have prayer. Prayer says, cool lemonade. Inquiry and original thoughts are inspired by the angels in lemon yellow. Cut through and face the truth and surrender to a higher calling. There's a collaboration here and a willingness to change one's mind. Try letting go of control. Sometimes that's easier said than done. All right. The next one is the same color. It is Miracle. That is a beautiful card. Miracle is sun sparkler. The brightest of all thoughts resides in sun yellow as nature radiates, stems from pure integrity. Be honest and forthright no matter what. Exactly. With the energy of the sun, a miracle awaits. You instinctively know what is authentic. You have to trust this. All right. Final card today. That's beautiful too. Expansion. Expansion. What are we expanding? Sky God. Is that our creator? Your life is changing as you move away from the old way of relating to others. New people are entering your life. Relationships may no longer work. You need to reach out to those who are in the same vibrational frequency of personal upliftment. I think we kind of talked about this. Call upon higher companions to advise you at this time. And I do believe we did talk about that.
Yes, indeed.
Well,
Thank you, Ken, for always hosting.
yep. It is a really cool thing to always see how the cards at the end of the show that I don't know anything about reflect on what we just talked about or what we're going through personally as well. They're beautiful things. But that is it for the oracles. Rocco, thank you again for joining me.
Oh, of course, love you.
I love you.
I don't get to stay for the oracles, but when I can, I try to. All right,
Oh, I
love you
know.
guys.
I know.
Everyone in the chat.
Totally understand. I got you.
See you guys.
Gotcha.
Love you.
Love you, honey. Have a good day. All right, guys. That's it for today. It was a little bit shorter, but like I said, it is still busy. It was a big day yesterday with company and with the littles and everything. A lot going on. But that's life and it happens and it's okay. We embrace it. We do it with lots of love and light, and every once in a while, just a little because you never know when you're going to need it. I'll see you Friday night. We'll do 7:00 show. I'll always invite the roundtable in. We'll answer any question you have, or we'll just sit and chat, whatever you want to do. But know that I love you, and I wish you the best of the rest of the day, the rest of the week. Many, many blessings. If you need me, you know how to get a hold of me. It's in the description. And have a good day, guys. I love you. I love you. Blessings, blessings. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.